Now I'm going to show you another way of copying objects, and for this I need to define a new reference variable, and let's say employee 3, and I want my employee 3 to be a copy of employee 1. Okay, why? Because employee 1 is already ready here. It has fields like it has Ali, accountant 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write employee 3 equals employee 1, and I'm going to call a copy method for that. And it is showing me an error. Why? Because I don't have yet a copy method, and I am going to write a copy method. But now, what does it do? Employee 1 is going to call a copy method, okay? And this copy method is going to copy all the fields of employee 1, okay, and then assign to employee 3. So employee, if I say, for example, instead of employee 1, employee 2, then all the fields of employee 2 is going to be copied to employee 3. Okay. For now, let's make it employee 1. So I'm going to go to employee 1 employee class, and here I'm going to write the copy method. So public and return type, since we are going to return an employee object, the return type is going to be employee, and the name of the method is copy. And in the body, what am I going to write in the body? We are going to create an employee temporary object. And I'm going to write here name, position, and ID number. So let's see. Does copy method take an argument like this, like set number, set position, set name? No, it won't take. Why? Because this method has a full access to the fields of employee class. So that's why copy method will not take any arguments. And here, what does it do? It's creating a temporary object, okay? And then which object is calling a copy method? Let's see, employee 1, right? So employee 1's name, position, and ID number, these fields are going to be passed as an argument to the constructor of the temporary reference variable. And then we are going to return TMP. Okay, then we are going to return TMP where? Here. So TMP will be assigned to employee 3. And what is TMP? TMP is a copy of employee 1, the object that is calling a copy method. Okay, so now I'm going to print out employee 3. When I run this program, what does it do? I will have 3 lines. The line for employee 1, the line for employee 2, and the line for employee 3. And as you remember, if you remember actually, these 2 lines, the lines for this employee 1 and employee 2 will be the same, because we are just copied a reference. We just copied the address of employee 1 to employee 3. But in here we are creating a new object and assigning the values of employee 1 to employee 3. So let's run the program and see. Control 11, and here, as you can see, the third line is different. Why? Because it shows that employee 3 is a different object with the values of employee 1. So now I want, when we print out just like this, it will show us the memory locations of these 3 reference variables. Okay, the memory location of these 3 objects. But what if I want to see the contents of employee 3, the states of these objects? What do? I am going to go to employee class and write a toString method. For that, I'm going to write public, and it's going to return string, so that's why return type is going to be string, and the name of this method is toString. By default, it must be toString. Okay, and then it will return the state of an object. Okay, and here you can play around. For example, I want name plus name, and then I want to go to a new line and get my position. And again, I want to go to the next line and ID, write my ID. And here, so that's all. We have 3 fields, name, position, and ID. And when, let's go to example class. So when I print out employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3, while I am having so toString method returns a state of an object. It will return the state of an object. So let's go and see. So before, when we didn't have a toString method, and when we run the program, employee 1 and employee 2 and employee 3, it showed the memory locations of these 3 objects. But since now we have a toString method, it is going to show the state of employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3. Let's add a new line in between to see clearly. Okay, and after employee 2 as well. And when I run the program, can you see? This is the first 3 lines are for employee 1 here. The second is for employee 2, and the third for employee 3. This is the state of our object. Of course, we can go to employee class and make changes to string method. For example, I may write employee info, and in here let's go to the next line. Okay, so let's run the program and see. Employee info, employee info, employee info. Okay, so you can change the state of an object whichever you like. Okay, so basically this is it. By using a copy method, by writing a copy method, you can copy objects